5 seconds. Mr. Chairman and members of the Municipal Council, ladies and gentlemen, I am greatly touched by the numerous tokens of kindness I have witnessed ever since I arrived in this growing and prosperous city, which is endowed with a good climate and inhabited by good cultured people. I wish to express my heartfelt thanks for the wealth of affection and the warmth of welcome which I have received from citizens of this city. I must also thank the chairman and members of the Municipal Council for the complimentary terms in which they have referred to me in the address which they have been good enough to give me. But let me hasten to add that the progress of Mysore cannot be attributed to any one individual. What Mysore state has been able to achieve in the field of economic development, industrial progress, political evolution and social advancement has been cumulative result of the work done in pursuance of the ideal of public good which the ruling family of Mysore has always cherished. The far-sighted statesmanship and ability of successive administrators, the patriotic efforts of the people of the state and the goodwill and consideration which Mysore has unfailingly received from people both in and outside India. The relationship of Mysore state with Madras has always been friendly and mutually beneficent. We are co-sharers in some of nature's gifts, and the dealings between the two states have all along been conducted on lines of cordial neighborliness. The fact that Coimbatore had once become a part of Mysore territory was a transient phase in the march of history, but the economic and cultural ties that bind us are enduring and abiding value. You have stated in your address that emigrants from Mysore settled in Coimbatore and other parts, carrying with them their culture. May I say that in this matter, the traffic has not been one way, and that in Mysore and other parts of the state, there are settlers from this part of the country who, by their high code of conduct, have earned the respect of the local inhabitants and whose business acumen and experience serve as an example to follow. Local bodies play a very important part in the progress of a nation. A great man has said that for average English citizen, the possibility of health, of happiness, of progress towards the old Greek ideal of beautiful goodness depends on local government more than on any other factor in his environment. Another great man, an acknowledged authority on local administration, has stated that the city council's services mean the difference between navigary and civilization. It has been claimed for the local government of England that during the past 100 years it has halved the death rate and reduced infantile mortality by 3/4. Municipalities in India too have a creditable record of service. They have contributed to improvement in public health and sanitation, facilitated hygienic ways of living, and have produced much needed social services. In not a few instances, local bodies have functioned as training ground for elected representatives of people in public administration. Municipalities have even a more important part to play in modern India. We have in a municipality a democratic state in miniature. The representatives of the people think out and initiate policies and programs of civic development with a full and practical knowledge of the problems they deal with. They exercise control and vigilance over the execution of their policies. What is more important and satisfying is that they see quick results of their endeavors in good roads, parks and gardens, water supply, sanitation and other public amenities, and in the healthful living of the citizens. If local bodies function with a true spirit of civic service, placing the comfort and convenience of the citizens above all other considerations, they can achieve the purpose of democracy as effectively as, and perhaps in a more concrete and tangible form than, bodies working in other spheres of democratic government. The census of 1951 has disclosed a record rise in the population of cities and towns in India. At the same time, the cost of providing essential amenities has enormously increased. There has been a growing awareness among city dwellers of the deficiencies of civic conveniences. All these factors have greatly added to the responsibilities and problems of municipal councils. the solution of which depends not only on the efforts they make to augment their financial resources and the efficiency they bring upon day-to-day municipal administration, but also on the intelligent planning of civic development. Town planning is not an alien concept in India. There is historical evidence of the fact that town planning was known and practiced in ancient India, and cities were planned in various types, all with beautiful names and beautiful layouts, with provision for parks and playgrounds, schools, markets, gymnasia, and other requirements of community life. In more recent times, town planning did not receive the care which the ancients had thought it fit to give. The importance of planning in city development is coming to be realized once again, and in the context of the growing tendency towards the urbanization in the country, the subject is one to which all civic authorities should pay special attention. This city is growing enormously. You have a number of textile mills and other industries. You have pleasing natural scenery round about, and agriculture is pursued on the outskirts of the city. I trust that in planning the development of the city, the beauty of the agricultural tracts will be harmonized with the requirements of industry. Beautification of a town is no less important than the provision of public utilities. Emerson said that beauty is a mark of virtue, and it is my belief that a city which is not only comfortable but also beautiful promotes the good life of the citizens. Of the manifold tasks that municipal councils are called upon to discharge, the provision of housing, particularly for the poorer classes, is one of the most urgent and important. In the post-war period, there has been an acute housing shortage in all countries, India being no exception. The question is of such widespread importance that the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations discussed an integrated and effective program